Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this beautiful crazy live. Today I'm going to pick up where I left off. I've had two other videos dealing with homeschool tips, part 1, part 2, and this is part 3 where I'm going to finish up some tips that I have and I wanted to share with you because I have been teaching for 10 years and have learned a lot. I'm still learning. But let's get into it. Let's talk about drama. When your kid goes to school, they have to have their certain kind of shoes. I know in my day, it was Nikes. I didn't like Reeboks. Reeboks were a thing, but for some reason, I just did not like them. So it was Nikes all the way for me. Colors, certain colors were in at the time and certain ones weren't. Hairstyles. Do you remember the 80s? In 3rd grade, I was in the 80s and we had to do our hair like, you know, flip it down and flip it up and spray it until the can was empty, and then you had to use baking soda to get the hairspray out of your hair. Yeah, that's the drama I'm talking about. So here in homeschool, you don't have any drama. If you want your kids to come in their PJs, they can. I have mine get dressed. They have to have at least something new on today. I hope to have their hair brushed and their teeth, really. If you're gonna be talking to me, your teeth gotta be brushed. Your dress code, you are the principal. You are the overseer of your homeschool. Your dress code is whatever you want it to be. So it can be really relaxed, be a little more structured, or if you really want it militant and strict, you can do that too. In your homeschool, you can have more free time. Your kids won't be in school as much, only the required amount from your state, and then they can go do more of their self-interest. Like my oldest daughter loves editing, she loves videos. So homeschool allows for that a little bit more. Kids get to know themselves a little bit better because they have a little more time to pursue things that they really enjoy. So number 12. Teacher discounts, guys. There are companies that will give you discounts if you are a homeschool teacher, just like a teacher at a public or private school. We don't have IDs. Maybe you can make one for yourself. I don't know, never tried. But I do have a letter of intent. That is my ID, a letter of intent. I can show that to Michael's. I can show it to Books A Million, and I get a discount. And the Books A Million one is pretty good. I think it's 40%, where the normal discount is only 20. Bam, love it. So I get a great discount, and that applies to anyone that is with me at that time. Adobe Photoshop, they give discounts for homeschoolers. You just gotta supply your information. And Apple products, it's amazing. Get your discounts, guys. Don't leave them out. Number 13, less is more. Now I tend to get caught up in trying to weave a bunch of different things into one subject, okay? So I'm not talking about the curriculum in my other video where I was talking about curriculum and you get off on tangents, and that's really easy to do because there's so much out there. Stick with one curriculum, okay? Stick with one curriculum. If you want to add a read aloud, which is what I like to do because that's what I do when my kids are eating breakfast or just coming in and getting ready and settling down, just do that. Don't bring in a bunch of outside resources if you get overwhelmed easily. Find a curriculum that works for you, stick with it for the entire year, and then change it out mid-year if you really hate it. That's my con about some of these histories or any subject. I keep going to history because that's where we're at. But any subject, if it has like 3 books that go for the one class, like let's say there's a test booklet, there's a math booklet, there's a quiz booklet, there's a work booklet, and then here's your textbook that you have to read and do all this stuff with. Oh my gosh, when I see that, I run because that is way too much. It's overwhelming me. So how do you think my kids are gonna be? Give me one book. And hence, I love LifePack. And you already knew that. If you watched my other videos, I love LifePack. Anywho, let's move on. Oh, and manipulatives. I forgot about that. Manipulatives. So not only can you get a lot of curriculum going at one time, the manipulatives, and if you don't know what that means like the hands-on things like blocks or flashcards, or I used to have like a whole tub of flashcards, and did I use any of them? I think I used like two. It all looks so yummy and fun, and yay, I'm gonna be a school teacher. Don't waste your time or money on things you're not gonna use. And the first year you might go hog wild and then assess. Now multiple age groups is a little bit different because I have a 8th, a 5th, and a 2nd grader. So I know that whatever I say for her, they're gonna use, so that's different. Number 14, don't worry about what others are thinking about you homeschooling. I have some friends that don't have a supportive family. They don't have supportive friends. It's okay that they don't support you or think you're crazy. They might be doing it soon too. So go with your gut. What matters to you the most? Is it what your friends think, or is it what you think your child needs. And I had a supportive system. I mean, my mother was a school teacher forever, and she said if she could have, she would have homeschooled us. That tells a lot. However, circumstances didn't let that happen. There are a lot of teachers that are homeschooling their children. What does that mean? I'll let you think about that. So just realize not everyone's gonna be supportive and they're not gonna really understand, but you need to do what's right for you and your child and your family. And that's the most important thing, because you're building this family that are gonna be with you the rest of your life. I touched on this, I think in the last video, that homeschooling actually tailors for your individual children's needs. If you have a child with Down syndrome, or if you have one with autism or ADHD or any of that stuff, you can tailor the education for that specific child, your child. I don't have any of those children here, but I do have different learning abilities and difficulties. They're children. I know I'm not good at everything. Are you? No. So it's nice to be able to tailor things for her because she needs extra practice, or her because she doesn't need it. I love homeschooling because you have the freedoms of teaching what helps them and not just a square. We can't teach in a square. It's difficult. That's why some children prevail and some get left behind, which is a shame. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, go back and watch the other 2 videos. I'll try and link them down below and put a card up here somewhere to link you to it. I covered 15 tips for homeschooling total. I hope some of it was inspirational, possibly informative, and I hope it helps you decide, or if you're decide to homeschool, or if you're already homeschooling, I hope it gave you some kind of insight or helped you out in some way. I don't know, but if you would, go hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.